So hello and welcome people back to Let's Play Syberia 1 on the original Xbox. This is a fairly obtuse puzzle, although that's mostly because the solution isn't terribly well addressed.
I mean, I forget what it was called, but there was that game that was made by the makers of Myst, which was about like someone on an alien planet that was dimensionally connected to Earth. I forget what it was. But anyway, and there was an entire like giant puzzle box which was just there to distract the player. It
It
did
didn't
nothing, it
have any
solved nothing.
purpose.
It just had a million levers and switches which would result in something, but it didn't actually have any function.
But yeah, you have to remember that number that's over there to call the
Welcome to the East Block Control Center. To start, press the number sign. Your combination number is not valid. Your combination number is not valid. If you are using the Haltenberg lock, press 1. If you are using the Morloff lock, press 2. If you are using the Koningpass lock, press 3. If you are using the Barakstadt lock, press 4. To return to the last command, press the number sign. If you want to raise the water level, press 1. If you want to lower the water level, press 2. To return to the last command, press the number sign. You want to lower the water level in the Barakstadt lock? To confirm your choice, press star. To return to the previous command, press the number sign. Your request has been logged. Unfortunately, our regional technician is currently on holiday, and no replacement is available. We will reply to your request within 48 hours. In case of an emergency, please operate the lock system manually. We apologize for delays to
It
our
seems
service.
to be really a complaint about the state of the
everything
world,
breaking.
rather than let's make a game that is fun to play
That looks
with
broken.
rewarding interactables.
Now, this actually may have not seemed like it had any sort of function. But in fact, the combination of numbers that we had to use during the conversation is exactly the same one as you use in order to operate. So 4 for Barakstadt, and 2 to lower the water level.
You're now a fully licensed technician.
It took me a while to like, I never figured it out when actually playing the game initially. I just went down through all of the 2-number combinations I could find. So it was like 01, no, 02, no, 03, and so forth.
So you spent your time doing 100 different combinations. I mean, you wouldn't actually. But it took you 42 tries to get there.
Yes.
And the real answer was just a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is the laziest thing they could have done.
But yeah, it's not a fan of this puzzle,
Hey there.
especially since
On the
Guten Tag,
my husband said.
He probably called you a liquor
I
vice.
got it. I know now how the locks work. So guide your boat into the lock, and I'll take care of the mechanism.
Godverdomme. Das ist eine echte Ladies. Alle trois, range alle Dingen and obligados de dame. Ach, set content und zurück again.
What did your husband say?
You, hurry up! We hurry to travel again.
Okay. We'll meet each other on the other side. By my train, okay?
That lady, just like the way she alters what he says.
I only understood the first sentence of that second thing that he said, anyway.
He was complimenting Katie, more or less.
That part I understood, but then he said a bunch of stuff, and I was like, because he said, "That's a real woman," and after that, I didn't get it.
We have to hurry. But yeah, since 2 was to lower the water level, if we press for 1, it is to, raise the water level. But I feel that, considering how much time you have to actually spend on the telephone, I wish they just straight up gave you the solution. It's like, in order to operate it, press 4 in order to access the system, and press 2 in order to lower the water level. It's that simple.
Well, what they're really teaching you is that calling is the most efficient way to determine the information you need. And
No, they're
email is
more
the
or less
tool of the
showing
devil.
you why you never want to call these sorts of centers.
Ugh. Can you keep doing that? Is it like a thing where if you hit 4-1 it raises it to the maximum? Or is it a thing where if you hit 4-1 it raises it one time? How many states are there for the water?
I have never actually tested that.
Is it low, medium, high, or is it just like
Just
low
like
and high?
in and out.
Gotcha. Give him the old in and out, eh? Nico, you dog. You
And
know,
I am. Yeah, you have to go through the bridge and approach them from the direction of the train.
that annoys me because you could absolutely walk across the lock when it was closed. So
It is true.
I do that all the time here around the canals.
You know, they totally don't want you to do that. No, I don't want to talk
Yeah,
to
well. How else am I supposed to get to the Waffle House?
you. Using one of the million bridges in Leiden.
The Leiden Waffle House. That'd be an interesting experience.
I mean, there were pancake houses. That's almost like waffles.
We never went to Waffle House. That's right.
We did go to...
Hey there! On the boat!
Da, barge on other side. You still need us?
That woman, you know.
There. Your barge is over the locks now. It's up to you to keep your part of the bargain.
Yes, Frau. Attach loco.
My husband say, return to train, attach chain, then barge will pull.
Okay, I'll get moving. What do we do now to tie my train to the barge?
Mademoiselle Takatak, loco coco bitchen.
What did your husband say?
You attach chain to train and chain to train with barge.
Hop, catch it up.
Wow. That was the stupidest thing to make a rendered cutscene for.
If that's going to work, it looks like something's missing.
Yeah, remember that hook that we picked up like at the very beginning of the stage? This is where it goes.
Why did they render a cutscene for that, though?
Alrighty, and now in order to advance the story, we need to try to approach the train, because otherwise, well, we don't trigger a story event. Even though we don't actually need to go on a train just yet.
If you haven't triggered every bit of dialogue, I'm gonna be very disappointed in you.
Hello,
Sloppy work,
Kate
really.
Walker here.
Miss Walker, this is Professor Ponce. I'm about to start my lecture on the Yukols at any moment. Please make haste to come.
Okay, I'll give it my best.
Excellent. We'll be in the main lecture hall. See you soon.
Wait, why does he want you around?
Because
being real rude to you
he's
earlier?
doing the lecture about the mammoth doll that and the
Yeah,
tribe
but
that made
he'd
them.
rather you not be around, really, so that he can claim all the credit.
Well, you know, he will still claim all of the credit. He does not mention a single thing that I brought it. That much I can tell you. But since we're already here, we're just going to wind up the train because that is it took us so long.
What you're saying is, you tried so hard.
But in the end, it doesn't even matter, you know.
There you go. More squeaky sounds, please. That's my here aesthetic.
This really should take a lot longer than that.
No, you don't understand. Nico, moving a train does not take any energy at all.
Hello?
Where are you?
Hi, Dan. I'm in Barrackstadt.
What? Is that a town? I hope the man you're looking for lives there. Are you coming home soon?
From what I gather, it's one huge university with an extraordinary station, aviary. If you could only see it, there are trees and birds everywhere. It's so weird here.
Sounds like a great place for a bit of sightseeing. So, are you coming back
I don't
soon?
think so. In fact, the train I'm traveling on has some kind of a mechanical problem. We've been forced to stop here.
Us? I thought you were alone. Who's with you?
Oscar, the train engineer.
You're messing around with mechanics now, are you?
Don't be so stupid, Dan, please. Oscar's an automaton created by Mr. Varlberg, the man I'm looking for. And he's not any old robot. He's a sophisticated butler type, if you see what I mean. He's a bit obsessive as well.
Kate, I don't know what they're feeding you in Europe, but don't you think it's time that you came home?
But my mission still isn't finished.
To hell with your mission. I don't know why you accepted it in the first place. If you just stuck to the middle of the road, then we wouldn't be in this mess.
We? If there's any mess, it's me who's in it. And while I'm trying to come to grips with strange towns, you, my darling, are sitting at home on your butt. I seem to remember we had nothing against my departure.
It was only going to be 2 or 3 days, Kate. Please, try to put yourself in my shoes.
Your shoes. Not only do I have to fit myself into your diary, but I've got to get myself into your shoes as well? Is there anywhere else Sir would like me to put myself while we're on this subject?
Look, I don't want to talk about it now. Call me back when you've calmed down.
I was perfectly calm before I picked up your call. I only wanted a few words of encouragement, not your disdain. Was that too much to ask?
You can be such a selfish...
Takes one to know one, sweetheart.
I hate Dan, and
Yeah.
I hope that you break up with him by the end of this game, and also I hope that his eyes are eaten by ravens.
Well, that does sound like a fitting fate.
Like, he has actually crossed over into the worse than any Nancy Drew boyfriend territory.
How many boyfriends did Nancy Drew have?
A lot, okay? It's a 500 game series.
And for everyone, she has a new boyfriend.
Yeah, well, when you're as industrious as Nancy Drew,
She gets around.
but no, I hate him and I want him to die painfully.
Hans, I have some very sad news. Our father is dead. He passed away peacefully last Sunday in his sleep. I feel so lonely now.
Father had been but a shadow of himself since your departure. I had to take care of everything for him. Housework, factory paperwork, the workforce, clients, everything. And now, today, well, I really don't know who or what I'm fighting for. Times are so hard, and this terrible war is destroying everything. Nobody cares for our automatons anymore. I just think about you returning. And when you do return, I will have turned this factory into a palace worthy of your genius. Please take care of yourself. I love you so much, Anna.
Yeah, people definitely do not buy toys when it's the Second World War.
And, you know, factories were kind of used for certain purposes in
Oh,
France.
we will get to that.
I'm glad you backed up
Everything
before talking
okay?
to Oscar.
Yes, Kate Walker. I am waiting to continue our journey.
That's it, Oscar. We can go.
Kate Walker, I must remind you of one of the journey regulations. All objects featured in the train's inventory must be replaced before departure.
I don't understand.
Something is missing, Kate Walker.
Oh my God! The mammoth doll!
Please return it to its allocated position, Kate Walker.
And this is also the reason why we need to go to the lecture.
I'm off, Oscar. See you later.
Yes,
Fun.
Kate Walker.
So yeah, at the very least, they do tell you why you can't move onwards and why why you have to actually specifically attend that lecture.
Even though I'm certain that it's not going to give us anything that we need aside from that doll. Not even really crucial backstory.
Well, actually, it does tell you a lot of things that are mostly relevant for the second game.
Right.
And you actually, like, prior to things happening, you don't actually find that information in the second game, if I recall correctly, unless... Well, it's been a while since I played the second one, unless they actually, like, keep some documents over from the first one, which I don't think they do. But yeah, at this point, this is the last we will see of the university building. Thankfully, they do not come up with any more reasons for
I'm
us to
sorry
come back
disturb
there.
you.
What can
But
I
I
do for
wanted
you,
to
miss?
listen to more lectures. That's the best part of my life.
I've got it. I found a winding machine. Down over there, along the track.
A winding machine? I knew that strange gizmo had something to do with trains. How does it work then?
I was going to ask you the same question.
Miss, I only feed the birds and water the plants. Mechanical stuff's just not in the job description, okay?
Okay, let's get the story straight. My train has left your station, so it won't disturb your peace and quiet anymore. And nothing was broken. At least I hope not.
The train and the station made to go together after all, miss.
But, I mean, I thought it frightened your birds.
Go figure. Reckon it gave them a little entertainment after all.
I hate these sorts of people.
I won't disturb you any...
Welcome to Barrow.
No pleasing them.
Like, no, it's like you go out of your way to fix something they keep complaining about, and then they're like, oh, it wasn't that much of an issue.
Yes. There's no pleasing them.
Exactly.
Regardless of what you do, it's going to be the wrong thing because they just like to complain.
Mm-hmm. You can even see the automatons moving, which is really nice attention to detail. It's of course a little FMV sequence, because that's how everything that's moving in the background, which isn't a character, works in this game. And how even so people are actually I don't know, actually, I think maybe like one person in this game is a pre-rendered thing sitting in the background.
Probably if it's non-interactable.
Yeah, like one of the sleeping students or something.